What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Brass Monkey X. So today we are taking a look at a Super Nintendo collection here that my buddy Sal brought me. He picked this up at an auction. He did an online auction. Now this stuff is in pretty rough shape, so I don't know if I can get this all fixed up for him. But let's go through everything piece by piece. He picked up 3 Super Nintendos. Okay. None of them work. This one here, this one is the worst one. This is in pretty bad shape. As you can see, it looks all scuffed up. This one will not even power on. So this one, I don't know if there's any hope for this one. I got to get it apart, take a look, see what's going on. But this one's in pretty rough shape. As you can see, the corners, they're all pretty dinged up. Every corner is chipped up like that. It's real dirty. The inside, that's pretty grody looking too. If you look here on the front, the port for controller number 2 isn't right. Something's off about that. Even when I try to plug a controller into it, it's not like accepting it properly. Like it's not fitting in there right. So this one's going to give me the most trouble. These two over here, these two will power on, but the games aren't playing for some reason. So I got to open these up, see what's wrong with those, get them cleaned up. I don't know, maybe I can get these two working. If I can get at least one of them working, that would be great. But I mean, this one's not, it doesn't look as bad. It's got some scuff marks on it. The corners aren't as banged up as this one over here. The inside actually looks a lot cleaner than this one. This one looks like it might have some oxidation going on in there. Yeah, this one looks real dirty. This one ain't too bad. The inside of this one looks to be the best, actually. This one might be our best shot, even though it looks like it came from the Marlboro Man's house. Like it must have been sitting in a house with smokers. Because that is a strange color of a Super Nintendo. I mean, I've seen them get yellow before, but that is nicotine yellow right there. So, but yeah, this one's not as dinged up as the other two. It does have that one chip on that corner, but that's the only one. The other ones, the corners are all screwed up. But like I said, this one looks the cleanest. It powered on, no problem. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to check that one out. Make sure that one's good. But yeah, I got 3 Super Nintendos here that I got to take a look at. It came with 7 of these Super Nintendo dog bone controllers, which, by the way, is an awesome controller. Got 7 of these bad boys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to get those cleaned up. I tested all those already. They actually work. No problems there. We also have, over here, we've got 2 of these RF adapters. Okay, we got 1 AC adapter, which is functioning, and we've got this AV cable here that looks like there's something growing on it. My God, that's disgusting. I don't know if this works or not. The cables themselves look like they're chewed up. This plug here, I don't even know how that would fit into the TV. I got to try and mess with that and fix it. Now, how I tested these with new cables and a new AC adapter. So that's how I knew what was going on with them, because this, I don't even know if this is going to work or not. I didn't even test it yet. So I'm going to get it cleaned up first, and then I'll try it out. But yeah, I don't know where this stuff was, but it is real grimy. This stuff must have been sitting in a basement somewhere. Like, look at these games. I got a couple of games here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. Yeah, look at how grimy these are. Disgusting. Look at how gross that is. I got to take these completely apart. I'm going to wash the plastic. I'm going to clean out the insides. I normally don't do that with this stuff, but there's only 7 of them, and they are really, really dirty. So I definitely want to get these cleaned up. But real quick, we got Miss Pac-Man here. We've got Scooby-Doo Mysteries. As you can see, all of these labels are garbage. This is the best label of the bunch on Tetris Attack. Not a bad label. We got Zoop. We got this Mickey Mouse game. What is this? Mickey Ultimate Challenge. Look at the label on that. Terrible. Got Wheel of Fortune Deluxe Edition. That label's okay, I guess. And then we've got this Mortal Kombat 3, which is the best game of the bunch here. And again, the label is just completely destroyed. It's a shame. I don't understand why people treat their games like this. But anyway, I'm going to try and get this all cleaned up. I'm going to try and get these Nintendos working. I don't know what I can do with them. I'm not the best at small electronic repair like this. I mean, I know a little bit. I know enough to get me by. And like I said, these two will power on. I'm just not getting them to actually show anything on the screen. I'm getting no sound, no video. So I don't know what that issue is. But I'm going to take everything apart, clean it up, take a look inside, and maybe I can get them working or not. So stay tuned. I'm going to be right back, and you're going to see all this stuff cleaned up, and I'm going to give you a summary of whether or not I could get this working. Alright guys, this is why we need to clean things up sometimes. These controllers, they all look pretty good on the surface. They're not too bad. I was just going to wipe them down. And then I said, you know what, let me take one apart real quick and just take a look at the inside. Because these things are pretty old. I mean, they're from the 90s. So I opened it up. And this is why we take it apart to clean it, guys. Look at that. Look at the grime on that D-pad. Look at the filth that's in there. You gotta clean that stuff up. Look at the dust on that. That's why we take it apart and clean it, fellas. So even if it does look pretty good, it doesn't hurt to just take it apart real quick. It takes a couple of minutes. Just open it up, clean this stuff off, and put it back together. Alright guys, so check it out. I got all this stuff cleaned here. We cleaned up those AV cables, as you can see. I even tried to fix that one terminal there. So I got that round again. I used a pair of needle nose pliers to kind of bend that back into shape. I still don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to have to try that out when I get a chance. We cleaned up the AC adapter. We cleaned up the RF switches. We've got a pile of dog bones here. Every one of these, I took every single one of them apart completely, cleaned up. I took all the buttons out. I took the D-pads out, the start and select switches, the triggers on the top. I took the whole thing apart, cleaned every little piece, and put them all back together. So these bad boys are spotless now, ready to go. I got the games clean, the cartridges. Now, what I wanted to do was, I wanted to take them apart. So I figured it'd be a little bit easier to clean the plastic if I took them apart. But the issue was, I don't have this stupid Nintendo screwdriver that you need to get those screws out. So I said, screw it, I'm not going to do it. Because I'm not going to wait. Like, I'd have to order one on Amazon and wait. I'm not dealing with that. So I cleaned them the best I could. So as you can see, no more dirt and grime on there. Whatever that filthy scum was that was on these things is completely gone. The labels are still shit. So, I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. But they're completely clean now. I even cleaned the pins. I used alcohol swab to clean those. I got in there the best I could to clean that out. That one was pretty bad. As you can see, this one's nice and clean in there. But yeah, I got every single one of them cleaned up real good. So all I have left to do is mess with the Nintendos themselves. So I'm going to get a hold of them Super Nintendos, try and get those fixed up. Now, if you don't have that stupid Nintendo security bit thing that you need, because you're going to need that on the Nintendo themselves. The Super Nintendo down in there, they have that same kind of bit, that weird shaped bit. Now, don't worry. If you do have like a micro screwdriver set like this, that 4mm one will fit in the back of the Super Nintendo. I tried it out, so I can fit that in there to unscrew the Super Nintendo. Not a problem. But I didn't have a bit that would fit these. So I couldn't take these apart. I am going to need that special stupid screwdriver that you have to get. I mean, they're cheap enough. They're only like $8 or something on Amazon. So I'm going to order a couple of them because that's something I'm probably going to lose. So I'll keep a couple of them down here in the shop for just in case. But anyway, let me go work on these Nintendos. If I run into anything interesting on these Super Nintendos, I'll cut in and I'll show you. But hopefully I can just get them cleaned up and get them working. And then I'll let you know. So hang tight, guys. Okay, guys, so check it out. This is the first Super Nintendo we're working on. If you remember, this is the one that wasn't even powering on. This was the one that was in the worst shape. So I got the case off of it. As you can see, I got the 6 screws out of the back. Now, again, you can use a 4mm like micro socket if that's all you have. If you don't have that security screwdriver to take care of that. So 4mm micro socket will work just fine. So what we're going to do is visually inspect this thing first, okay? So we're looking in here, and we're trying to see if there's anything wrong, okay? Now, remember, this one wouldn't power on. So the issue is most likely going to be with A, the power switch, or B, the AC adapter plug in the back, which I'm pretty sure it's not that. So as you can see, there is like fuzz growing on this AC switch here. It is so dusty. So obviously we're going to get this thing cleaned out. I'm going to clean up the whole thing. I'm going to dust it all, get all the dust out of there. We're going to remove the ejection, I don't know what you call it, the eject button here. We're going to remove that. We're going to take this shield off here. Okay, we're going to remove that so we can get a look at the rest of the motherboard. Now the whole thing looks pretty clean, but for some reason that switch is just real dusty. So I'm going to get that cleaned, and maybe that'll clean it up. I don't know. That might fix it. We're going to see. That's the whole reason we're doing this. We're also going to clean the pin connector back here. As you can see, that's not the cleanest either. For some reason, there was some kind of oxidation on there. Like it started getting a little rusty. And there is some dust down in there. So you're going to want to use some alcohol for that. We're going to clean that with some alcohol. We're going to get everything dusted. Again, that switch, I'm probably going to hit it with some of this. I got this contact cleaner. That'll clean it up a little bit too. I'm going to check the connections when I get that unscrewed. And I'm just going to make sure the connections are still good. If not, I may have to solder that or resolder it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll check this connection here. I'm pretty sure that's pretty good too, though. But we'll do that after we get it all blown out. Now, if you don't have a compressor, you might just want to use like canned air. Canned air will do it too to get some of the dust out of here. And then I might just pull the whole thing out and clean the entire plastic as well. And then one more thing, we had that issue with the number 2 controller plug here. As you can see, it's sticking out a little bit. The issue is right here. If you look on the top, these tabs are missing. You can see them over on this side. You see there's those 2 little tabs here and here. They snapped off on this side. But one of them was actually right there. It was down in there, so it broke off. So I'm going to have to super glue that back on, see if that helps. But I mean, this tab right here should snap under there and snap into place. So that tab may not make a big difference, but we'll see. I'm going to replace that, put it back on, and hopefully that helps too. Maybe when I take everything apart and clean it, I actually find that second tab that snapped off as well. But we'll see. So let me go get this all cleaned up, and then I'll come back and we'll give it another test, and we'll see if it's working. Okay, guys, so we've gotten this thing broken down as far as we're going to go. Now, as far as the main motherboard goes, I was going to pop the pin connector out, but apparently, if you look on the back, it's got like those little nubs there holding it in, and I don't want to mess with those. I don't want to accidentally break anything, so I'm just going to have to clean it right where it is. So I'm going to get that alcohol, I'm going to clean that up. I'm just going to use a brush, just like this, with some alcohol, get that as clean as I can. I'm also going to pull that completely out of there so I can clean the plastic. Going to clean that plastic as well. As far as this front piece goes, as you can see, that's already fixed. I just snapped it back into place. And it turns out we're missing more than those 2 tabs. There's actually tabs on the bottom as well. And they're broken off on both sides. So we're missing a total of 6 of those tabs that I'm going to have to glue back on. I did find 4 of them though. So I'm going to glue on as many as I can, and then, you know, hopefully that holds up. I don't know. We'll see. Our switch, as you can see, I dusted it off. I still didn't hit it with the contact cleaner. So I'm going to do that next. And then I'm going to reassemble everything after I get it all cleaned. So fingers crossed, guys. Hopefully we can get this one working. Alright, guys. So check it out. I got everything fixed now. I repaired that controller port there. Super glued those tabs back on there and underneath. Everything is cleaned up real good. I cleaned up that switch. I even took the switch completely apart and cleaned it. I cleaned up the AC adapter port. I got back there and I got that clean. I cleaned up the whole motherboard. I cleaned the entire... I cleaned all the pins there. So, I mean, I guess it's just time to test this one. So, just going to go ahead and put a game in there. As you can see, everything's hooked up in the back there. And let's go ahead and hit that switch. And nothing. The light's not coming on. As you can see, it's on, but there's no light. My TV over there, there's nothing going on. Try to switch a couple more times. It's doing absolutely nothing. So, unfortunately, this one's a bust. This one is beyond my capability. I don't know what's wrong with this at this point. Like I said, I checked everything. I even checked like the solder connections down there. Everything seemed to be good. So I don't know what the issue is with this one, but we're just going to have to scrap it and call this one a failure. But on to the next 2. Let's see if I can get those 2 working. Okay, guys, so we're about to get into these 2 Super Nintendos here. We got this one and we got Old Smokey here. If you remember, these 2 actually powered on. They're just not playing the games. So I'm pretty sure just a good cleaning of the pin connectors in there and we should be good. But we're going to do the same process as we did with the last one. I'm going to take it completely apart, clean the inside, clean the outside, clean the pin connectors, check all the soldering points, make sure they're good. The switches do work on these, so we should be fine. I think it's a matter of just cleaning those pin connectors. So I'm going to get in there. I'm going to do that. I'm going to spare you the tedium of watching me do that again. I'm just going to come back after that's all done, and I will show you guys me testing these out once they're all cleaned and put back together. Hopefully they're going to be working. Alright, guys. Well, it was a failure. I ended up taking all 3 of these Super Nintendos apart, cleaning the hell out of them. These 2 still just power on, but don't play the games. I'm just getting that black screen of death where nothing happens. And this one here still will not power on, play games or anything. I don't know what the issue is. I mean, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I mean, this one was just a failure, guys. I just couldn't get them to work. So it is what it is. It's still not a bad deal. We still got 7 games here. We got 7 of these dog bone controllers. We've got a working AC adapter. We've got 2 RF switches. And we've got the AV cables there that still work. So there's still some money to be made here. Actually, we could put these broken ones on eBay. And we could sell those. People do buy the broken ones because there's people out there that know way more than I do that can actually get these things running again. So we're probably going to get a couple of bucks for those, but it is what it is. I mean, we tried. We may not have got them to work, but you know, we had fun doing it, and it's a learning experience. You get in there, you learn a little bit each time, and you know, next time we'll get it to work. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you next time.